Alright, so in this video we will be discussing investment houses, and then later on we'll also discuss about securities broker and dealer. Alright, so first off we have investment houses. How are they different from investment companies? Okay, we have here an article from investmentuk.net. Definition of investment houses: individuals or organizations that are engaged in investment banking and financing activity. There are different kinds of investment houses depending upon the type of financial activities they choose to involve with. Some of them serve the role of brokerage, for shares and stocks, while others act as short-term and long-term investors in different businesses and asset classes, such as real estate. Some investment houses act purely as financiers and do not involve in the day-to-day running or decision-making activities of the business. But nowadays, many investment houses choose to engage actively with the firms in which they put their money in. Okay, so given the definition, I think these are the main points, the main difference between investment companies and investment houses, right? So investment companies, they normally invest in bonds and stocks and other types of investments wherein they do not involve themselves with the day-to-day operations of those companies, right? With regards to the investment houses, they can also do that, the things that our investment companies are doing with that regard, but should they desire to do so, they could choose to actively engage with the firms in which they put their money in. So I'm from this statement, from this main difference, I am assuming that investment houses do not normally invest in, of course they could, right? But for them to be able to actively engage with the firms in which they put their money in, so these companies must, not be listed in the stock exchange, and that their investment is of a significant amount, that they have some sort of not exactly major major ownership of the company, but some sort of a significant amount of investment in the company. And in a way, they could influence the activities of the company. They could exercise some sort of control over these companies in which they put their money in. All right. So I think that's also one of the main points of the difference between investment companies and investment houses. All right. Here in the Philippine setting, I tried searching for investment houses, but I could not find. Okay. SEC, they do have a list of investment companies, but investment houses, I am not seeing anything. But in a way, I believe they are also similar to angel investors. And let's continue, and we'll read about the support provided by investment houses. So how do they actively engage with the firms that they invested in? Okay, how do they involve themselves with the operations of those companies that they invested in, right? So what kind of support do they provide? In many cases, the investment houses maintain a flexible approach in terms of the involvement and support they provide to their partner enterprises. So they're not exactly, they do not call themselves investors, right? They in a way choose to partner with these companies that they invest in. If the investor believes that there is a natural synergy of knowledge and expertise between him and the entrepreneur, he may increase his involvement in the business in order to add value to it. Of course, if you're an expert with the type of business that this entrepreneur is running, I think normally investment houses invest in startup companies. All right. So in a way, they do need guidance in how they're going to run the company, how to manage, and then essentially most of the aspects of the business, right? So if there is a natural synergy and expertise of knowledge and expertise between him and the entrepreneur, he may increase the involvement. But where the investor is convinced by the strength of the company's project, even when he does not possess any personal expertise in that area, he may choose to remain a sleeping financial partner in the venture. Okay, so if an investor, he's in a way, he believes that this type of company has a potential given his assessment of the different players in the market currently. So mostly, you have your tech industries, what do you call this? Tech industry, and then the real estate, and then you have your main types of industries that are providing basic necessities to people, right? So if the investor believes or is convinced by the strength of that company, and then he himself does not have the expertise or the skills to contribute, so he might just simply put money into the company and then let them manage the business on their own, okay, without involving himself, because he has nothing more to add except for providing the capitalization or the financing, right? And then in some cases, the investment house may provide consultation and advisory support to the businesses. So of course, normally investors do have their own experience with regards to running a business or managing a business, right? So they do know the legalities in a registration process, the registration requirements, legal implications, tax implications. So and then also you have your accounting requirements. So in that case, the investment house could provide these advices, consultation and advisory support to the business. The team of members at the investment house is generally comprised of highly experienced and knowledgeable people with expertise in different areas. So normally these are people who have the money, but they have different areas of expertise. Okay, so you have someone in, let's say, the finance field, the education, in the medical field, engineering, architecture, what else? Okay, there are a lot, right? So they could be from different fields, and they, of course, normally they don't have knowledge or expertise with regards to the other fields. So they would let the other partners, if they do decide as a group to invest in a certain company, so they would let the one with the expertise to help out, be an advisor to that company that they are going to invest in, right? So in a way, that's how they complement each other. That's how they have some sort of strength as a group, because individually they do have their weaknesses, but collectively as a group they do complement each other, and they could consult each other with regards to the different aspects of the business that might affect their investment, that might affect their decision on whether to continue investing on this one, or should we find another startup to invest in. All right. They are able to provide useful advice to the business at crucial junctures. In some other cases, the investment house may involve itself more aggressively with the development of business. Such engagement may lead to the creation of a joint venture, partnership, merger or acquisition, or any other form of strategic alliance between the investor and the company. Of course, if there is more involvement, and in a way it's getting aggressive in a sense that they do meet every day, they do talk about it every time they meet up, and so it could lead to a partnership or a joint venture. Okay. And then we have some investment houses even engage in the sales and marketing of high value products and services of the business through their contacts and network. Okay, so after the product development, after the testing, they do have a well-functioning product. So after that, they could also get involved in the sales and marketing of the product. So it's really good in a way that they do help out, not just in the operations, not only in the development process. They do really provide a lot of support to the companies that they do invest in, sometimes even up to the point of selling and marketing, and they do use their contacts and network, which is a good thing, right? That's actually where most companies are struggling with marketing. Okay, they could not easily find people who would buy their products. They cannot easily send the word out that, hey, we have this product and it's really good, come and buy it, come and try using it. But these startups normally don't have the voice, and they do not have any experience with marketing and sales. So that's actually where most startups struggle, all right, in the sales and marketing. So if an investment house would help out in this area, then That's very good. Okay, the collaborative arrangements differ from one company to another. Again, that's, of course, it's depending on what has been agreed upon by the investment house and the company being invested in, right? Depending upon the matching of needs and strengths between the investor and the company. However, in most cases, there is a clear understanding between the investment house and the partner that there will be no fight for controlling stake of the company, and the key control and management of the company will remain with the entrepreneur only, because he's the one who came up with the idea, with the business, right? And initially, what he really needed is only funding. But of course, since the investment house have more to offer, advice, guidance, so that could help out more with to the entrepreneur, to the company they're going to invest in, right? Next, we have corporate social responsibility of investment houses. Many large investment houses believe in making meaningful efforts that benefit the society at large, in addition to making profits for the investor. Such investment houses operate on the following cardinal principles of business. Okay. First off, they choose to make investments only in such companies that are sincere in their commitment to uphold the highest business ethics and principles of doing business. However attractive the business proposition may be, but if it does not conform to the highest ethical standards, the investment house may choose to disregard that investment opportunity. Okay, so of course, investors, investment houses, they do have their own principles that they believe in, and if a certain company is not, adhering, not upholding those same principles, then they can just pass. They can choose not to invest in that particular company. Okay, it's also necessary, for the investment house and the company to be invested in, that they have a certain understanding that they have a certain way of thinking, the same principles that they are going to apply in running their business. Like what do you call this? Let's say for the personnel, they're going to provide the necessary benefits, not just the bare minimum. And then, of course, there are others like with regards to effect on the environment. How are they going to manage the waste? How are they going to ensure that it's not going to negatively affect the community that the company is going to be operating in? Okay, so those are just some, but of course there are many more, but just some examples, right? Investment houses in many cases try to take care that the shareholders' interests are protected by the management under all circumstances. Fair and transparent human resource policies, honest dealings with creditors and bankers, and commitment to the customers and suppliers of the business are some of the prerequisites of business that the investor expects the partner to follow. Quality product or quality service they are expecting that there would be no issues about subpar products in the future, and what do you call this, good customer service after sales, that in the future there won't be reports of customers complaining about the company, about how bad the customer service is, things like that, right? They need to ensure that the company would be operating properly and would not be met with these issues, so that they could operate in the long run, okay, for the long term, all right? And of course, honest dealings with creditors and bankers, so pay your dues on time, right? And lastly, equal opportunity employment principles, commitment to quality and delivery for consumers, respect for legal and ethical obligations of the business, environment-friendly approach to the business, adequate emphasis on innovation and research, corporate philanthropy, and voluntarism are some of the basic tenets that investment houses expect the partner companies to adhere to. All right, so equal opportunity employment, so diversification, gender equality, commitment to quality, so ensure that the products are made with quality materials as well, right? And by skilled workers, provide sufficient training for the workers, delivery for consumers. So make sure, the logistics side of things, they are able to deliver to consumers from different parts of the world for the reach, right? Not just nationwide, if you could, international deliveries. Respect for legal and ethical obligations. Are you paying taxes on time? Are you paying the right amount of taxes? Are you submitting the reportorial requirements by the regulatory authorities, right? Environment friendly approach. So, do you properly manage your waste? Are you not, cutting down trees? Or even if you're doing that, then are you doing something to curb off the damage, or are you doing something to ensure that after the operation is done, especially for mining companies, after the mining is done, how are you going to restore the area? Things like that. Adequate emphasis on innovation in research, especially for tech companies. So we have to ensure that they continue to innovate their products. You don't stop with what you currently have, right? If there's something that could be improved in a certain product or service, then you have to make those improvements. You have to innovate, do your research. Corporate philanthropy and volunteerism, normally they do help out with, nearby communities wherein they are located. Most of the time, that's how it goes. But if they could also, extend help to other communities, then that's also good, right? Philanthropy and volunteerism. Okay, normally they also liaise with governments at a local and national level, especially if, essentially they do have this corporate social responsibility. So in a way, they do need to coordinate with the local governments or the national government, depending on the scale of their program, all right? Due to the diversified nature of investments that investment houses make in a country, it is common for them to maintain cordial and cooperative relations with officials in various government departments. They maintain relations with departments and officials at the municipal, provincial, and national level, especially in areas relevant to their investments. Okay. Some investment houses even engage in assisting their business partners to make sales to government departments and public sector undertakings. Okay, that's good. Okay, especially if the government does have a need for a particular project and the company that these investment houses are investing in are providing that particular product or service, then they could go ahead and help out in, what do you call that? Helping in... Well, here in the Philippines, we do have public bidding, so we have that. Okay, there is a streamlined process on how businesses could join public biddings, right? They do have a website, I think, or online. You can do that nowadays. So these are usually large projects, and the experience and connections of the investor can sometimes produce very fruitful results for the business. In some cases, the investment houses hire professional consultants and contractors who are specialists in generating governmental support and even grants for specific projects. All right. So you have your, let's say, tree planting, or what do you call this? Not renovation, recovery, something like that, right? Something along those lines. You have an area that has been polluted, it's going to be cleaned up, things like that. There are those projects as well. Environment, for the environment. For the entrepreneurs, it is a huge opportunity to get the backing of such large and influential investment houses, because it helps in realizing their business goals. Okay, what are these? Popular areas under the scanner of investment houses. At present, many investment houses are keen on investing in new and revolutionary technologies, yes, a lot of them are, that hold a promise to make a real difference towards the growth and development of the society and the economy. In particular, green technology-based businesses are attracting the attention of a large number of investment houses. Entrepreneurs and companies that offer innovative ideas for clean energy and environment-friendly products and services are of special interest to the investment houses. Yes. The other traditional areas of high interest for investors include administrative services, business and financial services, real estate development and management, healthcare industry, travel industry, and media and telecom industry. The investment houses see a major growth potential in these business areas in the near future. All right. Okay, so should I cut this off and do a separate video on securities broker and dealer? I think I'll do that. Okay. So essentially the first part is about investment houses, and then the next video would be about securities broker and dealers. All right. So that's it for this one. Thanks and bye.